Right now I'm interviewing by way of telephone Terracycle founder and chairman Tom Szaky. Tom, thanks so much for being on our show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Tom, we're going to go back a couple years here. In 2001, you were a freshman at Princeton University trying to adjust to campus life. Everything was a whirlwind, lots of pressure to succeed in your academics, and one day you had an epiphany about worm poop. Can you fill us in about what happened?
Yeah, so I was, as you said, I was, first year at college, and my friends and I had been growing these plants, and we were having some trouble with them. My friends ended up taking the plants to where they were going to school, which was Montreal in Canada, and so they took the plants, and they were having a lot of trouble with them, and then they finally started feeding the plants worm poop, and that made the plants do incredibly well. And so it was a really interesting moment because, obviously we solved the problem we had, which is how to, make our plants grow better, and realized that garbage is basically a man-made idea. It's something that doesn't exist in nature, and we were taking garbage in this example and turning it into fertilizer. And that was the genesis of the idea around Terracycle. The concept around Terracycle is how do we eliminate the idea of waste? And we realized we do that by creating collection and solution programs for all types of garbage. And so the very, very first product we launched was liquid worm poop in a used soda bottle. And we got the soda bottles by running a national collection drive where people could send us their bottles for free. We even made a donation to any charity they wished for each bottle they sent us. And that entire idea became the sort of the fundamental for what Terracycle is today. We're now in 20 countries collecting hundreds of various types of waste and making products from them.
So people would send you regular plastic soda bottles, and in return you would give them money, or would you give a charity money? I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch you there.
Well, it can either go to a school or a charity, not an individual.
Okay.
So the way the model works is you can go to Terracycle's website, terracycle.com. I mean, back in the day, back in 2001, it was one program. It was just soda bottles. Today, in the U.S., I believe now we offer about 50 unique programs for everything from sending us your pens to candy wrappers to bottles. And you basically join a program, you sign up for free, then you can take any box you have, you fill it up with that specific type of waste, maybe like a shoe box, and you can fill the shoe box up with pens. And then when the box is full, you can download a free shipping label, usually UPS in the U.S., and then send it to us. And then what we do is we don't pay you directly. We wanted this to be for altruistic reasons, so we credit your account typically 2 cents for every piece of waste you collected. And then instead of keeping it, you get to choose any school or any charity in America and allocate the money to them, and then we'll pay them out directly. And I think in the U.S. this year we probably gave away close to $3 million in these donations.
That's a really clever business model, and it seems like clever ideas are behind everything you do at Terracycle, especially in your advertising. One advertising campaign was actually a TV miniseries that got a lot of people's attention. Can you tell us more about that?
That's right. So we have a very unique view of how to advertise and create attention. The way we do this is, first, Terracycle focuses on recycling the non-recyclable. We really focus on anything that today would only end up in the garbage and providing solutions for that. And when you offer something so unique and so differentiated, the odds of it being, interesting to people are heightened. So we get a lot of press. I think Terracycle averages close to 17 articles a day on average, which is quite something. In addition to that, we also try to create what we call owned media assets. So these are revenue-generating media assets. So, for example, I blog for the New York Times. That gets us a lot of exposure, in addition to, I think, about 15 other blogs, but they also pay. Or we did one season of a TV show on the National Geographic Channel called Garbage Moguls. And that's another example where you generate revenue, but then you have your own TV show. We have same example, our Facebook game at trashtycoons.com. You can download the Terracycle Facebook game, and very similar example. And in addition to all that, we work with our brand partners, which are some of the world's biggest and best brands, from Kraft Foods to Nestle to PepsiCo, Frito-Lay, and the list just goes on. And these guys also are very keen on promoting that Terracycle's helping make their previously non-recyclable waste recyclable. So examples include, like, they print the Terracycle logo. I think that's now on close to 20 billion packages per year, and so on and so forth. So we really try to stay away from paid advertising. We try to look at it in every other way we can.
You slipped something in there that I almost missed. You said that you created a video game. What's the name of it again?
Trash Tycoons. So you can play it at trashtycoon.com. So it's a Facebook game. I think there's actually a few 100,000 people already playing. It's a lot of fun, and you basically land in the city covered in garbage, and then you get to clean it up. And as you clean it up, you earn points and credit, and you can also then build, little recycling depots and trash cans and all sorts of things that help you collect and recycle faster, and that will get you points faster. That's basically how Trash Tycoons works. It's a lot of fun, totally free, and definitely recommend it to your listeners to play.
Well, I'm sure that your game is going to get a lot of hits after this interview. Anyway, when you created it, I'm sure that you didn't sit in front of your computer and make it yourself. Did you have people working for you that helped you with this, or did you hire out?
No, I mean, we have an IT department of now close to around 10 people, but the Facebook game is one of these negative cost media assets. So we found a Facebook game company called Guerrilla Apps in Israel, actually based in Tel Aviv, and they developed a game at no cost to Terracycle because they viewed value in leveraging the Terracycle brand. And so we have a deal where we split some of the income on the game, but it was at absolutely no cost to us. And that's the beauty of these negative cost marketing assets.
I understand that you created another clever way of getting your company's name out. You made a deal with Newsweek about 2 years ago. They had a green issue, and the cover was actually a prepaid envelope in disguise. People were instructed to pull it off, stuff it with a Target plastic shopping bag, and then send it to you.
Yeah, that was a really fun promotion we came up with. We did this with Target 3 times, once in People magazine, once in Newsweek magazine, and then another one I just can't recall at the moment. And the idea was you take the actual physical cover off the magazine, flip it inside out, tape the edges, that creates an envelope, and then fill it up with a type of garbage. In this case, it was plastic bags, and put it in the mail. And what was amazing, it was tremendously successful. It won some major advertising awards, and it was a really great campaign. And now we're leveraging the same example from our foreign offices. Some of our partners in Canada, for example, will be launching a very similar program later this year, I think around just after Halloween as a way to clean up Halloween. And then the same is happening in our division in Brazil with another brand there who's going to be looking at the same type of program. So what's also really fun in these marketing ideas is because Terracycle works in 20 countries around the world, if we have a win in one country, like America with that Newsweek promotion you just mentioned, it has the ability then to replicate, which is a lot of fun as well.
Sure, I guess a promotion like that can easily create a ripple effect, which could help you try it in other magazines abroad, too.
Totally.
You mentioned that you're an international company, and I saw that you're even in South America.
Mm-hmm.
I've spent some time there, and I noticed some things about the recycling approach. A lot of South Americans have an urge to recycle just like North Americans do, but they just divide their garbage between organic and non-organic matter. If you were to give advice on how to separate your garbage effectively to South Americans, or to anyone for that matter, what would you say?
We do actually work in, as you mentioned, in quite a number of countries in Latin America. Today, I think we're operational in Brazil, in Argentina, in Mexico, and we're launching in Guatemala, Puerto Rico, and Colombia in the next few months from now. So there's been a lot of focus in Latin America. The models I described earlier, but sending garbage in and free shipping and all that is something that we extend in Latin America as well. The difference in Latin America is that the infrastructure of recycling is a little weaker than it is in North America. And so you have to look at different things. And one unique example in Brazil and Argentina is there's a lot of people who live near landfills, pick out things that are valuable, and they then sell that. These are called cartoneros, and they sell to cooperatives in the region. And so many times we work with these cooperatives to create value for things that were previously non-recyclable. So, we try to, every country we go into, fundamentally look at what the unique nuances are, try to make sure we bring in as much of the same model as possible, but then, of course, tweak it to the local culture, the local flavor, if you will.
What you just said may not have registered with a lot of North Americans who are listening now. In South America, there is a lower caste of people called cartoneros that dig through garbage and sell what they find to recycling centers. They're basically homeless people. And what you're doing is you're helping them earn more money so they can find better opportunities. It's an interesting way of raising the standard of living for countries that you do business in.
Yeah, it's been a great experience for us, and we hope to do more and be in many more countries. And each one brings with it its own unique, challenges and opportunities.
Tom, while I was looking through your website, I saw a video from National Geographic. Was that a clip from Garbage Moguls?
I mean, I don't know what you saw, but it very well could be. There's a lot of video out there about Terracycle, but Garbage Moguls is definitely something we've been very proud of, and that would be the one that would be associated with National Geographic Channel. That was probably one of the episodes of our TV show, I imagine.
Okay, so in this video, you came into a room with a garbage bag full of Oreo cookie wrappers. That was probably the show. And
Yeah, that was episode one. I remember that one where we turned Oreo wrappers into kites. That was a lot of fun.
You threw the wrappers on the table and you said to your team, okay, let's come up with some ideas here. Oreo has contacted us and wants us to create a product with their wrappers. So you examined the properties of the wrappers like strength and thickness, and then you came up with a poncho and a kite. It was a really good episode, but while I was watching, I was saying to myself, how are they going to get these clean wrappers every day to make products? I mean, garbage is initially dirty, but you need clean wrappers to make these products.
Well, so what we do when garbage comes in, it's actually not exactly like how our TV show described it. It's a little bit more, stylized for TV, if you will. But the reality is garbage comes in, and we have a team of scientists who evaluate how you can manipulate that garbage into new raw materials. And there's another team of designers who then looks at what can you make out of those raw materials. And then we work with manufacturing companies who actually take the waste and make it into these finished products. And so, as it pertains to clean versus non-clean, there are ways to sanitize the waste as it comes in. Now, depending on what type of material we're making, whether it's turning the cookie wrappers into a plastic or whether it's turning it into a fabric, you have very different processes and then different processes on how to clean and so on. But every type of garbage has some form of sanitization that we take it through. And they were launching some pretty extreme programs. In Brazil, very soon you'll see a program for used gum. In Canada, very soon you'll see a program for cigarette butts. And we will be launching stuff around dirty diapers in the U.S. later this year as well. And so these are even crazier, if you will, than a cookie wrapper. But rest assured, every type of waste stream has a process that's unique to the waste stream that we go through to help sanitize it.
Your business encompasses used gum, cookie wrappers, pet bottles, dirty diapers. How do you get each individual item in your door and categorized into each pile so you can work?
Well, so the people who collect, we're in over 2/3 of American schools. I think there's 26 million people in the U.S. alone collecting. So these people are collecting in segregated boxes. So one box that comes in is only chip bags. One box that comes in is only pens and so on. And that allows us to keep all the waste separated. And once you have separation, it allows us to actually have a chance at recycling it all.
So the people who provide you with the garbage actually separate it for you.
That's right.
Tom, there are a lot of young people listening in right now. They have a lot of dreams, and they're trying to figure out how to make their dreams become a reality. If you were to give some valuable tidbits, what would they be?
Yeah, one simple one. Just stop thinking about whatever you want to do and start. And in starting and doing, you will realize everything that you need to know to make your idea stronger and better. So I suggest if you have something that you want to do, just begin. And then everything from there will become clear.